It's the place to be, you're gonna get to know. Restaurants and movies appear, amusement parks and ocean piers, boardwalk built and loved by family. Atlantic City's face, a changing place, time to lead the way. You want to see the old become the new, remember yesterday. Rolling chairs and trolley cars, Ferris wheels and movie stars, boardwalk built and loved by family. Atlantic City, my hometown. Atlantic City, world's playground. Atlantic City star shines near and far, you can see its glow. You get some sand in your shoes, shells in your hand, it's the place to go. Beauty pageants and parades, cotton candy taffies made, boardwalk built and loved by families. Atlantic City, my hometown. Atlantic City, world's playground. Atlantic City, my hometown. Atlantic City, world's playground.
Well, hello again, and welcome to the Postcard Show. I'm your host, Joseph Polillo, my co-host, John Polillo.
How you doing?
We come to you each week, same time, same station, Atlantic City Postcards, talk about the past, the present, and the future, development, and architecture, and tourism, and everything you can think of about the area. We're going to run through a lot of small categories today. If you're a postcard collector and you go to the different shows, you will see a lot of cards that really you don't want, but to have a complete set, you should have them. Some are just water shots, some are just sand shots. And John would like to ask everybody to start their VCRs.
Start your VCRs and get these postcards. It took us 15 years to collect them, and you can have them by taping this show. And if you make copies, send them to your local libraries.
Right, and we'd like people to move closer into their television set. Look at the card, try to think about what you can about it. We're going to go through them. We're going to start right away with sand sculpture on the beach. I think they went a little bit too far here with like a moldings and wood and everything, but we're going to start right in with postcards of sand sculpture on the beach.
Right, this guy here is doing like a Venus on a half shell here. You can see it. You got a guy on the jetty blowing a flute. You can see him over there. And they actually almost made the thing look like a postcard.
Thing looks like it is a postcard.
No, I mean this particular thing they got.
Well, that was a little modern. Let's go back further here at Park Place. The guy jumps out there. They started this years ago, too, if I may bring this up here. See this here? They throw money down on there from the boardwalk. Started that with some flute players a few years back. The city kind of frowns on it, and possibly it really shouldn't happen. But John Gowdy's the guy doing this most of Atlantic City sand sculpture stuff nowadays. Young guy from around Chelsea. Grew up, started doing this artiste sand artiste.
Right, and what you got to understand, they stood along the boardwalk up here. This is Boardwalk and Park Place now. It's an amphitheater. This is where you would get on that track that takes you back to the carriage in the sands. If you look back here, you have the old trademark wood and the new brick front being put on. This would be the Indiana Avenue ramp.
There you go. The sand sculptures got big. A few grains of sand, and he mounded it up and sculptured it up to look like a woman sleeping over here. And this here looks like the captain of a ship, Captain Young, maybe.
No, he's
What's
got the steering of the sailboat in his hand. He's dressed like the fisherman, Gordon's fisherman man, and he's doing his thing.
Here's sand artist doing a sculpture of Christ here on the end and crucifixion. This looks like that woman one we just saw here.
Right. That's the woman laying again right there, sideways.
Right, back in the hot sand. And what is there, these posts every once in a while here?
Well, that's where they would probably play brother. You could see the water came up that night and rushed into the street end here. Particularly, I don't know what street it is right off the bat, but there's a lot here. This would be Boardwalk and Park Place, probably.
Yeah, a lot of action at Boardwalk and Park Place. Here's this guy checking his workout. Whoop, there he is, checking his workout on the beach.
There he is.
The shoveler. Moved uptown next to the pier. Did a few more things. What's that, a chariot or some sort?
Right, he's got a Roman chariot here. This is alongside the Steeplechase Pier. What you see here, you can see the donkeys in the background lined up for people to take with the cart. And here's a sand sculpture where it looks like the person's actually lying dead on the beach or something. It's really strange.
He's sun shining in his suit there.
There's one.
Whoa.
Sand artist, Atlantic City. That's how they would start it off, and they would build it. It would look like concrete when they got done.
How about that?
There's an automobile.
They actually built that out of sand and sculptured it around.
That's a sand sculptured automobile, and the guy's proud. He's standing over here. He made that. Look at the spokes and the wheels and all made out of sand.
So after they got done on the beach, what they wound up doing was going into the water. There's a lot of water cards which are out there. John, you want to put a big wrap on that one?
Well, this is a wave crashing over a jetty. We don't know which jetty because there's no landmark to look at to figure out where you are, but that's how they would draw the card.
When you do collect them, you'll have to collect the different shots, the different surf, sand, and sun, or sun, sand, and surf.
There's a big holler back cracking.
Seagulls.
That would whip you.
Seagulls.
Seagulls on the left.
All right. Here's moonlight like last night. Hello, nighttime. The moon's in the proper place. Another different wave crashing on the old T jetty or any jetty. And moonlight in Atlantic City. And that's the water section. Once you got to the water, you probably saw one of them out there. I mean the fish. A lot of fish out there. Fish must have been a good commodity here because the people picked it up right on the surf there. It looks like they're right on the surf, right? Greetings from Atlantic City. It was a big fish capital, I'm sure. It did get very popular from the shoreline and from the piers. And what happened is first these people started doing it.
That was a standard shot of the age. You had Boardwalk and Park Place behind you, and you had people fishing off the side of the $1 Million Pier.
Mini box.
Yeah, they
right? Had minis in there,
box.
bait box.
Right. Look at the shoes on the woman.
Yeah, this must be the 30s or something here. Oh no, this guy still got the 20 hat here.
Still got the straw hat on there.
Yeah, that's something.
Well, the carriage is up, so it's after 1921.
So this guy made it out there to fish on as us. Who's that, Mr. Kineski?
That's Lloyd Kineski's father, probably.
Yeah, he was Mr. Fisherman.
There you go.
There you go. And these might be some of the tourists.
They're
what a nice picture.
They're off Indiana Avenue. They're out there.
Look at a picture of this Trainmore in the back. Look at that.
Trainmore is magnificent.
Is that a wild photograph right there? Or picture, or whatever you want to call it.
Then we also went fishing up Captain Stein.
Yeah, they went to the piers and the different piers and everything, and they would jump out there and get in the sailboats and get in the boats, and they'd go fishing.
That's Stein's Inlet on the right thing when they teed the pier off out at the end. You can see the power boats here. You can see actually this here. You got in it. They all are shaded up at the top. And all the sailboats. This would be the Coast Guard station later on. This is back of Brigantine. As you go, the Brigantine Bridge would be right here now.
Now this has to be at either side of Snug Harbor, right? There's two different sides there.
Right. See, Starnes came to here, and there was their dock. And then as you went out by the seawall, there was a Coast Guard station right here, and this is that docking there. And here's another little boat that they would take you down the inland waterway with.
Did you say little boat?
That's this. See this here? The next postcard is going to show you that in a close-up. There it is there.
Wow.
You ate lunches up in here, and you boarded the boats back in here. Even years later, when they removed this, they kept the dock, and you would board Miss Atlantic City here.
Big boats? How about a big boat?
There it is.
That's some kind of boat.
You get on that and ride around.
Says Steamer Atlantic City.
That's the
going out of the inlet
City.
On a trip to New York, and there it is.
Yeah.
I used to park on the side of Steel Pier. I don't have that card with me. It must be in the Steel Pier
That later became the SS Steel Pier.
We might as well throw the yacht club in there. I think that may be New Jersey and Barrett Avenue.
Well, where this is at the
Bungalow?
end of Bacharach Park.
Where?
This would be the seawall right over here. This is the end out of Bacharach Field. Sure.
Right. Well,
we'll have a picture of it from the air in the future.
Okay, and here's when they went out there, they looked in that beautiful scene of Atlantic City. Look at that.
At night.
Fantastic. Then if you were really brave, like the Frenches of Pleasantville, Jake and his wife, and other people, you got faster at it. Here's Miss Atlantic City. I think there was 1, 2, 3 of them, possibly.
This is the photograph where you look at it for a number of times and you think it's great, and you think it's great, and then you realize there's something wrong with the card.
Something's wrong.
Something's wrong there.
Can anybody tell us, sitting in your living room, close up,
what's wrong with this picture?
What's not in that photograph? Okay, time's up. Tell them now, $1 Million.
The $1 Million Pier is not here.
But that's a...
But that's a hoax card, because with the convention hall here in 1929, the pier was there since the 1890s, so they just left it out of the picture to show you downtown and uptown.
Well, we're going to show you a few cards on Lighthouse, which I'm going to have to do something with the camera when I do it, but there is the Lighthouse.
Right.
There's Jim Crane's house in there.
Jim Crane lives right here.
Still living in there, Mom, probably.
In fact, they built a big apartment building here, and you can't see the lighthouse from offshore, but that's where
Jim
it
Crane,
is.
the singing lifeguard, lived right there.
Right there.
And a lot of other people, too, but he's
Show
rather
Pacific
famous.
Avenue. You could bring it up
Well,
a
I
little
don't
bit.
have it. I'll bring a little Pacific Avenue into it.
Pacific Avenue around right here.
Right around the bottom of the card. This is a unique card because it shows the lighthouse. It's not really there, but maybe you can see it. But the unique thing at the top of the card that you can't see, it says Uncle Sam's Ears and Eyes in Silent Watchfulness, Atlantic City, New Jersey. Well, let's see if we can just bring that down a little bit. There it is there. Radio signals, lighthouses, things like that. Now I'm going to try something because I have some long cards, which usually we don't show the long cards. Pardon that board. But there's a picture of the lighthouse in Atlantic City at the top. We're going to come up with it as it looked at the bottom.
It's at night.
Wow, at night, we got the same thing again. At night, little bottom to it. See that? There's people walking.
Yeah.
Pretty good. And another beautiful one. It's very hard to see.
You can see Pacific. Actually, this is New Hampshire. This would be Vermont Avenue, and this would be Vermont, and this would be Rhode Island, and this would be Pacific.
And there's the lighthouse as
at
it
night
stands
again.
But the American flag was very prominent in a lot of this Atlantic City stuff. The United States of America came here. This was their resort, the world's playground.
As you went up to Captain Starnes, you'd come through here, and this was their dock. But to get to the other dock, you had to go all the way down this side and around. And if you notice, that yacht club building we just showed them is right there.
Across what? Where's that?
No, this is their Starnes Inlet.
Oh, okay.
You'd come in here, and you'd board the boats here in the 50s.
Fantastic. Then we can go to sailboats. That's what we're in, right?
That's what we're into, the
Here's how they
sailboats.
got
There's how you boarded them out at the end of Starnes Dock.
I hear you.
Right
That's
here.
fantastic.
Brigantine would be in the background. The Brigantine Bridge would be over here.
You know, sailboats were first, and they have the right of way against all boats. People are taking their little wave runner test and boating test will understand that.
This is at the tip of Captain Starnes Pier again.
These are old photographs, old.
Right, and they painted them and colored them for you.
Here's the same picture again, different look to it.
Right, see this piece was over here. What you have,
There you go.
there it is, there it is there. Then you went around the side and came out this side. And you can see the difference. In there was a long cove that you see from the card that was up prior to it.
Like this card.
Like that card there.
That's their dock, right?
That's
the
right.
elongated dock.
It was their pier, it was the inlet pier.
And of course, Atlantic City always got hit with some storms. Here's after the storm.
This
Did
guy's
I say after the storm?
Yeah,
I
this
think
guy's,
during the storm.
this guy's in trouble. This is probably the Brighton Avenue wreck that got in the ground. They never took it out.
Never took it out.
And still refused to take it out.
Oh, it was called yachting. Yachting in Atlantic City. Yachting was a big deal here at the turn of the centuries up to about the 1915s. Look at all the people on that boat. There's a lot of people in there. Here's another calm night on the ocean.
That's the banana boat at Brighton Avenue going down, probably.
What's it say on there?
They're in big trouble. Can't read it without a magnifying
They're going
glass.
down, I think, to both of them. It always seems to be rather rough. Greetings from Atlantic City. Bounding the buoy. Can you imagine that?
They're coming around and into the city.
Big-time sailboats trying to make their gig here. Look at that. See the city in the background on that?
The artwork is phenomenal, isn't it?
Yachting in Atlantic City. Was there any yachts in Atlantic City? Let me move that down just a little bit. Pardon. Check that out. Looking real good. Beautiful postcards of sailing.
Look at that baby. I had 3 or 4. Was it the Flying Cloud coming in the 1800s? It's amazing.
Really
Isn't it? Look at that. Is that intense? Look at this rigging and all.
They tried to duplicate that, never actually hit it at Gardner's Basin.
Right.
Big boat, small boat. We're going to go with the sailboats out front, like this one.
There's
Right
one.
up near the beach.
Right up. Here's the steel pier, and the double piling is the bottom of the steeplechase pier. They almost mesh and come together.
Is that allowed to be that close to the shoreline anymore? They had to
No.
pass a law, right?
You have to stay away. They would get caught, get a good set, and knock that ship all over the place.
Right. Well, we'll keep moving. How about being out there at night?
It's a night shot.
It's a night shot, man. Moonlight, in the misty moonlight. Couple more out there. Sailing was big. This resort started to get even more modern. I'm going to show you this one now, how the Coast Guard got on
There it is.
On
And
everybody's
here's
back.
the Coast Guard station here, and like where this boat is where Captain Starnes' dock was, going this way. But now this looks like the Coast Guard station you'd think of today, which they moved all the way across the inlet in Gardner's Basin and put it all the way across on the other side where it is today. But this originally was at the corner of the seawall and Baccarat Park right here, which became Gardner's Basin.
Tremendous.
It is wild.
But this is the inlet here, what you're speaking about.
Right, there it is. Here's the Captain Starnes Inlet Hotel, and then here's the pier going out. And there's tie-ups.
I missed this one a little earlier. It goes back a little bit in time, but that's how they had to jump on the boat.
That's how they got them on the boat. They jumped over the rail and got down on the boat.
Same deal.
Right.
Down
Here
on the
would,
boat.
here would be the Inlet Hotel right here, which became Captain Starnes.
Sailing by moonlight, again, love. Love is like a sailboat in the Absecon Inlet. Is that beautiful?
Here's the inside interior of that one.
I can't get to that, but what these boats look like this inside.
Right.
It's a very beautiful picture of that boat. Look at that. Rocky seas, you know, whoa. Okay. Then the boats got better. The boats definitely got better. Look at the boats on that one.
That's when they became power boats. Here's
Tremendous.
the Brigantine Bridge in the background, if you look at it.
Hello.
Right here.
All sailboats
it's not
and
on.
Captain
There it is.
Starnes. Oh, there you go.
There it is.
There's
right
another little
there.
boat. Whoop.
Powers is right here.
How about that? And here's how it looked in the 50s.
Right. That's the
Reason-
dock. You went out and got on it. Now look at all the people in it. That was the steel pier. Then you had the Hackneys down here and Captain Starnes. Everyone had their particular sailboat. Look at the size of these rigs. Here's the Coast Guard station over here, which you can't see, but wait a minute.
Yeah, move it over.
There's the Coast Guard station right there.
Okay.
And then they moved it all the way over by the bridge years later.
Tremendous. Now you need, we got to go, if anybody ever got hurt on a boat or seasick and stuff like that, as you may know, they first would have to go to a hospital. And here was Atlantic City's hospital at Ohio and Pacific.
Right.
See Atlantic City High School there?
There's Central Junior High School today, which was Atlantic City High School, and this was the hospital. As you see it put right in here. In fact, this may be the front, am I correct?
No.
This is Pacific Avenue, this is Mercer. The Claridge would be on this side of the street, right?
Right.
This is looking at it.
Yes, yes.
So this is Pacific Avenue, the front of Central Junior High School, Atlantic City High School.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You
You're
see?
saying it's on like Park Place facing east.
Right, it's where the Claridge Garage was just
Ah.
erected just now with the Mount
Oh, I
Royal.
see. Okay, so what you're saying is
Here it is.
it's like facing Park Place where the new Claridge Garage is right now, facing uptown, across from the
The
administration
new
building.
Claridge Garage is right on this set where the Mount Royal Motel was.
Oh, I thought it was on the other side
No, it
where the
isn't.
hospital stands on the
Because you
corner.
would have a
All
church,
right.
you would have an old brick Methodist church or Episcopalian
okay.
church here if it was Ohio and Pacific here.
Facing east.
All right, this is on Park Place, facing east.
Tremendous.
Exactly what it is.
And then this was a health resort, and you saw those single beach chairs. You remember that?
Right.
They were mostly made for these people. Years ago, they called them crippled, which turned out not to be a good word. Paraplegics. What are some of
Actually,
the
what you have here is a children's seashore home. At Richmond Avenue and the beach.
Well, I think it was first at Missouri Avenue on the beach.
I'm not sure.
Something like
We
that.
need the historians to write us letters and tell us, because we don't claim to be experts. But this is the way all the children played in front of the children's seashore home.
Then I think it moved down Chelsea
Right. Here it is, down between Richmond
and Annapolis.
and Annapolis Avenues. This would be Annapolis. This would be
Annapolis
Dover,
is
right?
the far one.
Right. So that's where it is. And then the Warwick went in here.
All right, here's this one. Here it is there. Better picture.
There's a better picture.
It became a red brick building.
They just tore it down. It's a vacant lot now.
And it was attached to Longport, as sometimes Atlantic City is also attached to Margate. Betty Bacharach on the bottom,
Right.
and the seashore, children's seashore home out of Philadelphia on the beach at Annapolis Avenue in
This
Atlantic
was in
City.
Longport. When you'd make the cut to get back over towards the other deeper part of Longport to go towards 11th Street, this was right there. You'd come in here and turn.
Okay.
And we have
We have a few things. We have schools and churches coming up. The schools, as you may know, were different. Like we said, Central Junior High, as we know it today's world, was actually Atlantic City High School. And there it sits, I believe.
there it is.
What
This is Ohio, and this is Pacific.
What's it say on there?
It says Atlantic City High School,
Okay. There's a Central Junior High School as we know it.
as we know it. This is the lawn out front where you had the brickings. And actually, from this entrance here, directly across the street, as you come down
Here's a
this
better
way,
picture. Here's a better picture.
there's a better picture. You want to get over this way,
Okay.
because what you have here, directly across the street from here, was the entrance to the hospital.
Oh, the first building, hospital.
That is Atlantic City High School. The building's still there. It's called Central Junior High School.
I hear you.
If you look up here, it actually says,
Okay.
right here,
I understand
Atlantic City High School.
that. Atlantic City High School later went down here,
Right.
right down
There
in
it
front of
is.
that, right?
There's the park. They had just brought down the Soldiers Memorial from Boardwalk and Park Place, where it was in front of the fountain. They brought it down here. Here's the railroad coming out of Hastings Place, which people think is Boston Avenue, but it's really Hastings Place. And it wrapped down. Here's the Knife and Fork. There's no Mayfair.
Wow.
There's no Seashore House. There's the Albany Avenue Apartments, but no high school. Actually, look at this. No monument.
No monument.
No Masonic temple. Look it
Hello.
over here.
I hear you. Move it over. Ventnor Avenue.
No monument. No Masonic temple.
Ventnor
I wonder
Avenue.
what they would have done if they didn't have a police department then. I guess they would have put it in the in the Knife and Fork.
I hear you. Well, here's what started to happen when they built it. Believe it or not, that's a shot from the Amico station or something, isn't
It's
it?
a shot from the Amico station looking at the monument and the high school. Now, when I went to the high school, down this side was all wilderness. And they had the Japanese garden here.
Wow.
I
Japanese
mean, a lot of
garden.
guys used to be in this classroom, and the teacher looked the other way, they'd all hang jump out and hooky that class.
Well, we got so many of the same. Let's just look at them. Hey,
There they are.
There they are.
That's after the monument went in. After the Seashore House was built, there's still no Mayfair. Here's Eldridge Storage.
well, we'll keep looking at them.
There's the Soldiers Memorial.
Big controversy nowadays is whether the Columbus statue from Columbus Park should go in there.
They want to put Columbus right here
Yep, but
because they wiped
soldiers,
him out uptown. He's in a warehouse right now.
that soldiers and sailor thing that's in the picture right there was at Park Place at one time.
Right.
Here's a shot at night.
Here's a night shot.
Night school. Is that wild or what?
Here's a trolley.
A
Let me
trolley.
get it over here.
There's a trolley.
There's a trolley going down to Ventnor Market and Longport.
Down Atlantic Avenue. They could solve the whole traffic problem in Atlantic City by letting Atlantic Avenue stay Atlantic Avenue and just making everybody go to right to get out, right?
The whole traffic problem can be solved by letting everybody on Atlantic go left to Ventnor Market and Longport, keep right to Pleasantville, points west offshore, and it's solved.
Told you
but
so.
no, they'll spend about $800 million. They'll spend about $800 million to go around the block.
Hey, why not? Let's do it again a couple years later. Well, what's the difference? Look how much more beautiful.
It's not their money.
How much more beautiful it got to be with a photograph like that.
There it is, yeah, probably in the 60s. Now you have the Mayfair went up. Everybody from the inlet that came down to Jitney and got in this here little drugstore before school, boy, did you meet some people there every day, huh? In the Mayfair drugstore. It was a little park right on the corner. You can see all their storage here. If I can move it over just a little bit. Right here. Here's the park growing up. The trees are getting bigger.
Okay.
The Seashore House is here. The high school's there, and then you come over to the monument.
All right, little blip.
Come over to the monument. There it is here.
The monument's in there.
And the trees are growing up. They're getting large.
Here's another school that's gone. Maybe people could like this. Can you guess on it? Which one is it? I thought it was Central, Atlantic High. What is it? Anybody know?
I can tell you what school it is. It's the Massachusetts Avenue School.
Hello.
This would be Massachusetts, and this would be Atlantic.
Well, that's schools. There's a lot more schools, but we don't have them here with us today. We got Atlantic High out of the way. Here was a school that a lot of people went to. The church, the school, and the rectory all put together. It's not a bad school.
St. Michael's. Here's the railroad station. Here's the railroad station back here. That was after, it used to be up here. They moved it back.
Hey, they're trying to make that just like that now.
Right, now they just wiped all this out. This is all gone. You had Christopher Columbus in here, and he's gone. And they're trying to discover some part of America to put him in now.
Yeah.
But that's St. Michael's Church, and they show its position of where it is in relationship to Convention Hall, because the Wedding of the Sea takes place from this front door down to the front of the Convention Hall in the ballroom. They have a mass, and then they throw the wreath on the water.
Okay, so we're sticking with churches right now. We've got to go with this one, Star of the Sea.
Many people went there. You can see the Shrine of the Blessed Mother. I remember this classroom here. This was 7th grade right here. And you notice there's no little back 3 classrooms, so off of Church Street. It hasn't been built yet, but there's Star of the Sea.
Here's the corner, California and Atlantic.
All right, there it is on the other side from the rectory. Right to the church. But if you look closely back here to all the people that went to Star of the Sea, here's what you got. You got the old convent right back here. There it is. They tore that down, built it back further down the street.
Where's that bingo sign?
The bingo sign. They didn't start playing bingo then.
Oh, no. Here's a beautiful photograph.
All right, there it is.
Star of the Sea Church. Very nice.
How you doing, Stephen?
Now you have this particular church,
How you doing?
St. Nicholas Tolentine. They're leaving town.
This was the school over here.
Which one?
Right here.
That's down, right?
This is the school where they had the dances inside this. There was a gymnasium on this first floor, the side door. You went to the dance.
Yeah.
Then they put the statue here, if anybody knows.
There was a guy with an open book there, and some guy wrote in it one.
Some guy wrote in a book and got caught. And actually, the site that is vacant here that you see is where they built the Columbus Hotel. And then the other church that became Little John's is on this corner. But look at the architecture in this church here. It's phenomenal.
The church is staying. The Roman Catholics are taking over the St. Nicholas Church.
St. Nick's. Here it is here.
A lot of people went there. Here's a sort of a zoomed-in, similar picture to that.
All right.
It's a little cropped, you see.
Yeah, they couldn't get the whole thing in the picture all the time, so they would fake the picture. The picture's actually spliced right down here that you really can't see.
Who wanted to see these particular churches? St. Paul's.
All right, this is the one they discussed the other day on radio. I heard them trying to figure out. It's St. Paul's, and if you look, they took this house out years later, this particular one here, and the hospital went, which was there. It's not in this architectural artist drawing, but that became the emergency room entrance. That's where the ambulance took you, right into the side door of the hospital.
Hello. Well, that was what, St. Paul's?
St. Paul's, Ohio and Pacific.
St. James.
St. James.
Episcopal.
That was North Carolina. and Pacific. Am I correct on that
Yeah,
one?
right. On the east side, heading towards Lafayette.
The Lafayette would be up in here.
Right. Nice cars.
Right. Look at the old automobiles there.
Here's
boy.
the Church of the Ascension.
Kentucky and Pacific.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that wild?
Very nice.
That's still there. Here's the police officer. Get the police officer in there.
Where's the police officer?
Right here. Right here.
Hello,
There
police
he is.
officer. At an intersection.
And
A
look at-
traffic control officer.
Look at this car over here. Look at this car. Right. Can you see it? It's an old Model A.
All right.
All right.
And here's a view of the first pedestrian church. Presbyterian, I'm sorry. I have this thing against pedestrians. I'm a driver of a car.
All right. Nice. Clouds are neat.
Yeah, clouds. Yeah.
There's two automobiles there. Looks like a 1948 Oldsmobile or a Chevy or General Motors project.
Hey, no problem. Well, that's churches, and we have more, but we're doing this for the little bits that we have right now. And what we want you to do is follow us through to the railroads. We're going to go through that. Hey, that's going to go soon, too. Pack up all your bags.
They're tearing this down.
We're going into 1 minute down.
Right. And they knew that a year ago they were going to tear it down, but they still put $1,300,000 in
Hey,
to fix it up.
Not the facts, please. Don't mention
Here's
the
what it
facts.
looked earlier.
Here's what we got to do. We only have a minute left. We'd like to thank you for tuning in. Same time, same station every week.
Here's the old ice house that was in
Hello.
Missouri and Arctic.
And we're going to flip through just this railroad thing to finish it. Check the cars and the jitneys. Check them beautiful cars.
There's the old ice house.
Similar. Here it is in a more modern view. More modern
There it is.
view.
It's
That's
all
going to be
gone.
gone now.
Christopher Columbus was here.
There's some jitneys out front. Columbus is gone too. He's
Cabs
out of
and
here.
jitneys.
And that's what we'd like you to remember for today's show. We thank you. We're on.
Hey.
For tuning in. Say hello to everybody. We appreciate all the things you say about our show, and pass the word along and tune in. It's to be continued every Sunday, 2 p.m. to 2:30 on channel 2053.
Get your
WWAC TV.
mother and grandmothers to tune in, and grandfathers, because they're the ones that would know all these locations.
Absolutely. And don't forget, we'll be here.
New York has its lady, San Francisco the Bay, Paris has its tower, London its queen. The town I was born in might change from old to new. That's something I must tell you. I've got sand in my shoes. I'll never leave Atlantic City. I'll never go too far away. I'll never leave Atlantic City. On the boardwalk, the song, people come every day, take in the salt air, walk on its beaches, might ride in rolling chairs. When they look at the brand new, think of the old days, things they used to do. Atlantic City, my hometown, I won't forget Atlantic City. I'll never leave and go too far.